Hey guys, you're listening to the Code Red podcast. I'm Shubh,
And this is Parthib.
and this is the Manchester United podcast where we review games, tactics, and player ratings. Throughout the series, we'll also be looking at any club updates such as transfer news, any injuries to the squad, or any additions to the team. Today, we're looking at Manchester United's 2-0 win over Everton in the League Cup.
Yeah, so this is just off the back of the 6-2 win against Leeds back at Old Trafford. United went to Goodison Park today for the quarterfinals against Everton. We had Edison Cavani netting in late 88th minute goal, and then Anthony Martial coming off the bench, scoring in stoppage time. So for the United bench, United line, we had Dean Henderson, Harry Maguire, and Eric Bailly. Tuan Zebe on the right and Towers on the left. Then as holding midfielders, we had Matic and Pogba. Our midfielders were Donny van de Beek on the left, Bruno Fernandes in the center, Mason Green on the right, and the forward was Edison Cavani. On the other hand, with Everton, we had Olsen, the net, Yerry Mina and Keane and as defenders, Godfrey and Coleman as our fullbacks, Doucouré and Andre Gomes as the holding midfielders, Iwobi, Sigurdsson, and Richarlison as the midfielders, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. So pretty bad start. I mean, not a bad start to the game. It was just they're so not lethal at all. They've completely lost any finishing ability, United.
Yeah. I mean, it should have been, again, 2-0 up in the first 3 minutes. Um, I mean, they had so many good chances, whether it's creating themselves or just simply bad errors from Everton. I mean, the ball was just like, it was pinball just in that Everton 18-yard box. So just flying around half the time.
Yeah, they had like 70% something possession in like at the first like 20 minutes. It's like well, that's 65 overall, but yeah, it was mainly played in the Everton half and they just could not capitalize. Cavani was
Mhm.
missing shot. Well, literally everyone that had shots were missing shots. Just went either straight to Olsen or just missed it, which was unfortunate. And we've talked about this before, especially with Anthony Martial in the last match. He was not picking out his goals really well. And same as well today. I think they've really been slacking and finishing, and what could have been an easy game put to rest had to be a struggle up until the 88th minute.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't playing the exact like first team. Like they still had like a lot of first team members playing, but they had Rashford on the bench and Martial on the bench, and it kind of shows that they really need to. Like I think what we saw like these past two games, they have really started, attacking more. Starting the game off on the right foot, not really like easing their way into the game, right? They like want to get that early goal, get that early lead. But I think like to do that, obviously they need to work on their finishing because they've just been missing chances. They might have to put McTominay at striker if they want to win easier. But yeah.
He wasn't on the bench either today, right?
Yeah, McTominay and Wan-Bissaka, they both picked up knocks
Oh,
during
right,
the
right,
Leeds
right.
game. So yeah, they were ruled out, I
Uh,
believe, a
they
couple
should have
days back.
started Lingardinho, but oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Everton did start after the first like initial like 20 minutes. Everton did start to get ahead in the game. They were
Mhm.
keeping possession really well, but just around both teams, passing was sloppy. Like it was just a lot of giveaways on either side. You couldn't really blame either one of them. Just and a lot of the match and Pogba seemed a bit non-existent in the second half as well.
Yeah. As yeah, it was very, as you said, sloppy. Like United couldn't really formulate like a 5 or 6 passing chain. Like it would just be intercepted, and then Everton would kind of dribble up, and then it would be intercepted by United. It was more of a basketball game. It was just back and forth, not really
Yeah,
being able to create a solid chance. And I guess you do have to give credit to both defenses, I think,
yeah.
because
I think they
even though
showed up.
Everton, or go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, they showed up pretty well, especially I think Maguire had a solid performance today, even though we do mug him off a lot of the times. I think he was pretty solid in the back today. Can't say the same about Tuan Zebe. He was just not getting into the attack. He wasn't really helping out the defense. Just not a great performance from Tuan Zebe. Tellez was okay, but Tuan Zebe on the other hand, not that great.
Yeah, I think playing Tuanzebe at right back was kind of like a guess. I feel like he doesn't really play right back. He always plays center back. And I guess to ask him be isolated, I guess his like positioning was kind of off. But I think watching Bai play again, he obviously hasn't played in quite a while. I think his last outing we saw him donkey kick
Yeah,
to
that's a
Todd
classic. That's
Cantwell.
a classic.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think like he was like he kind of showed like what pace at the back can do. I mean, I believe there was like a late chance in the game before, like it was 0-0, but I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin had the ball and it was kind of 1v1, and Bai kind of was able to get the ball off him. But I think I think he's quite underrated because of his injuries. And like if he's fit, he could. Do you see him starting over Victor Lindelof?
No, I think Lindelof has kind of cemented his position as like the league starting back with Lindelof and Maguire. I don't see Bailly overtaking him, especially with regard to longevity. Oh wait, Bailly's only 26.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Okay. Lindelof is younger, right?
yeah,
Okay. I was not aware of how young Eric Bailly was, but that
yeah.
does
He
kind of
looks
put
like
my
he's like
argument to
29
rest.
or something.
I thought he was in his 30s.
Yeah, he's still quite young.
Okay.
Um,
Well then, but I still think for the most part, Lindelof has his position in the as the starting center back in the league pretty much there. I don't think he's going to get replaced by Eric Bailly anytime soon.
do you think United still go for a center back in the summer or January?
Uh, I mean, who would they get if they did go
I
for?
think Upamecano is
All
available for
right,
like 50 or something.
that's a pretty steep one, but he's a
Yeah,
young one. He plays for Red Bull, right?
yeah, Leipzig. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad shot. Upamecano, there's been a lot of hype around him, and what I've seen from him is really promising.
Hmm.
But there's obviously the board not being very um
Generous.
generous. Yeah, I don't know as far as defense goes whether they'll even chase after a center back.
Mhm. Yeah, I think yeah, it is kind of hard to predict what the Glazers will do because they'll spend like 7 months trying to do a Sancho deal, which never even happened, and then Donny Van de Beek happened within hours.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can't really expect much from this board, but I think United should still go for a center back because I mean, although we're starting to turn a corner, like we're still looking kind of vulnerable. I think it was like, was it Sigurdsson who like just
yeah,
like
just ran past everyone, but
like
obviously Harry Maguire was there to stop him.
yeah, yeah, like Harry Maguire came out of nowhere and
What a
just like
lad!
planted himself.
Yeah,
Yeah. Surprised he didn't take down one of his own defenders
Luke
to
Shaw
let
wasn't on the pitch at the
Sigurdsson.
time.
Yeah, that Spurs game still gives me some
PTSD.
flashbacks. Yeah, but yeah, I think overall, like regarding the game, um, I think it was an overall good performance. I think United is starting to trend in the right direction.
Yeah, and especially with I mean, this should have been a match put to rest within the first 45, but at least it wasn't. They did seem to be in domination for the most part. Not saying the whole thing, but there's a lot of improvement done that can be done for this reserve side. And they still have Bruno Fernandez, Mason, who should be a starter. He's been taking some rest. Pogba, Maguire, Tellez, who I think should be starting ahead of Shaw. They do have some their of the regular 11s in there, but I think they just need to like have an entire new squad to be able to shuffle around. So I think it still throws like caution to the wind for any more reserves that should come in, or youth academy players that should come in for the reserve side just to at least win them some trophies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, last season United were just on the verge. Like they lost. They were in three semifinals and just lost all of them. One
Oh,
to City, one to Sevilla, and one to Chelsea. But yeah, last season, United they were also against City in the League Cup semifinal. Lost the first leg 3-1, then won the second leg 1-0. So they lost some aggregate. But they changed it this season, so there's only one leg, and it's being played at Old Trafford.
I wish they did
Um,
that for Champions League.
yeah, so that, yeah, I mean, Barcelona can't 2-8-2s,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
uh,
yeah, how do you feel about United's chances with City? There's
I
obviously that
think.
0-0 on the 12th,
Hmm, hmm.
which wasn't very convincing from either side. Just a boring game all overall, and no one
Y-
really making any attacks. So we
Yeah,
can't really say much about that. But
yeah. I think form wise, I'd say United are a bit better. They are currently the best form wise team in the Prem, but uh, I still think we're gonna lose to City. Probably. I think like City, they have Aguero back now.
yeah,
Somewhat, he's like getting subbed on, but I think like it's in 2 weeks, so he'll probably be on. Um, and I just think I think yeah, they have Laporte, they have Ruben Diaz, they kind of have all those key players to play, and I think yeah, I think unless maybe Martial can get another pen for us, otherwise I don't see us winning.
yeah. City. The last game they lost was against Spurs back in November 21st. Ever since the United game, it was 1-1 versus West Brom, which is kind of
Yeah,
questionable. But then 1-0 over Southampton, who've been performing really well. Then 4-1 yesterday against Arsenal. Just well,
yeah,
it's
that
Arsenal
was.
lads. But yeah, they've
Well, then again, United's last loss in the Premier League
it was
was to Arsenal.
Arsenal. Yeah, so upcoming they have Newcastle, Everton, which is going to be a tough one, and then Chelsea and United. So they do have some tough fixtures ahead of them. Newcastle shouldn't be anything after the 7-2 demolish that we saw last week, but Everton, Chelsea, we could be in for a thriller. I think that's what's going to happen for the Manchester Derby. But you're going to say they were going to draw Brentford and get lucky.
Yeah, I mean, it's City. We've seen what happens in the Champions
This
League.
league,
They draw Schalke and
Porto.
Porto. Yeah, always in the group stages. So I was like, kind of expecting them to draw Brentford, which I'm surprised. Brentford beat like Newcastle and like a couple of top teams to get
Well,
to
it is
the.
Newcastle.
Well, that is true. But hey, Callum Wilson has been being bits for my fantasy team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, as far as a certain Alex Telles goes, how do you think is he like replacing Luke Shaw?
Well, I think Luke Shaw, he is quite injury prone. So I think to get him in the summer was good because he already has been injured for like a couple weeks now, and like already into the season. But I think he's a lot more dynamic going forward. I'd say like he created, I believe, 3 chances in the first half, which was more than any other United player who only created like one key chance. And I feel like he does provide more defensive stability. Like Luke Shaw, he often gets caught out in the 1v1s. He's not as mobile. Um, I think like Tellez just he just moves around the ball a lot quicker. And I think with the pace that the forwards have, and the kind of style I think Ole is trying to build upon, it's like, off ball movements, pace, getting the ball moving around, quick passes. And so I think that's why, Tellez, he can kind of see those better. I think he still has to work a bit on his free kicks and a bit of
Yeah,
his crosses, I'd say, from the corners especially. But otherwise, yeah, I
the
think
one
he's a
corner that
definite.
went to who was it? I
Oh,
can't.
Cavani, right?
Yeah, Cavani. That one was pretty close. Or
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. But the free kick was kind of diabolical. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Well, Fred's done worse.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. We've got a standard just to compare to. But
Yeah.
that Pogba yellow card, that wasn't a yellow card, right? Like it didn't seem like
I
one.
I couldn't tell if he got contact on the ball or not because they didn't really show like a proper like slow motion replay from the angle. But I don't think it should be a yellow card. I mean, I think they should have given him a yellow card for the dive at the edge of the box where
Okay,
they.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
So in the end, all in all, like he kind of deserves it. But what are your thoughts on the Pogba situation? Because obviously there has been drama between his agent saying he's ready to leave in the summer. He's no longer going to be a United player. And then Pogba, he's been playing well, scoring, assisting, breaking up plays. So
I mean, it
what are your
could just be
thoughts?
like uh well, what's his record with United? He's got 118 appearances, 26 goals. How many assists has he got? I'm trying to figure
Probably like
out.
30 or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Kevin De Bruyne. He's still a
Yeah.
class player. He's not world class all the time, but I think maybe it could just be just to rile him up. Maybe his maybe it's some sort of like weird underhanded the reverse psychology is agents doing to maybe keep him in United and also fire him up a bit, because we have seen him playing better. I mean, Mino Raiola is a crafty man that he is.
Mhm.
Really can't tell what he's up to, but he gets the deal done.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
for to be honest, I'd get rid of if I were Ole, I'd first get rid of Matic. He's just too old, and I'd be on the ropes about. I'd be on the fence about Pogba. I'm not too sure if I would keep him or if I would get rid of him.
Yeah, I think you don't get creative players like Pogba often, but at the
They're a dime a
same
dozen,
time,
yeah.
yeah, but at the same time, I think he can't, because if Pogba leaves, then you don't really have any creative midfielders besides Bruno and Van de Beek.
And Van
So
de Beek
like
still hasn't really like proven
yeah,
himself.
he's still like he shows glimpses of creativity, but he hasn't really like, he's not a game changer. Like Bruno has established himself as a game changer. But yeah, I think like Donny Van de Beek, he still has he hasn't like lived up fully to his potential. Like he's only gotten like a couple of starts. Most of them have been like 70th minute
Yeah.
substitutions. Um, but yeah, I'd like to see more of him.
Yeah, especially me. I like what I see from him. He obviously had that goal in his debut. I think he
Mhm.
could do a lot more for United than maybe Pogba can. I think Pogba's I don't want to. I think his ego comes ahead of him sometimes. For Pogba, Van de Beek seems like a very down to earth player. I'm not mugging Pogba off. I rate him. I wanted him to come to Barcelona back when he was in Juve.
2016.
I think he
Yeah.
could fit like the Barca mold better than United could. He's a
Yeah, I
strong
could see
physical
that
player.
because
He is a good passer. He can find
mhm.
players really easily. He can dribble as well. He is pretty much like just a French Iniesta, but not as great as Iniesta.
Not as good as
Yeah.
yeah.
It's I don't think maybe United was going back in 2016 was the right move for him.
Yeah, maybe in a couple of years when he's 30, swap deal.
Oh yeah, swap deal for Ansu Fati.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That
Uh,
makes sense.
yeah. Then we'll see if you're rooting for Fadi or Greenwood.
Speaking of Greenwood, what do you think of him today? This is his first time he didn't play in the last match, and he hasn't played too consistently in the league so far.
Yeah. Uh I think he did well. I think he did, obviously, like his best chance was from that header, which just kind of clipped the post so close,
Yeah.
and then he had that really good like should have been an assist when he passed it to Pogba. I don't know how he got the ball off, where he dribbled like through like five defenders
Yeah.
and then just like yeeted it into the middle. But I think obviously he is being played a bit out of position because he does play as like a natural number nine, up top kind of guy. But I think like obviously kind of the same thing with Martial. Like the more like consistency through starts they'll get, the better he'll be able to play. Like during the restart, for example, he was starting week in week out, right? So he was able to produce more.
He was getting a lot of goals on for himself. Yeah, this season
Yeah,
he's only made 9 appearances, and he's got 1 goal for United in the Prem,
and then one
which
in the Champions League, but that's it.
and 1 in the EFL. So it's not too impressive yet. He
Oh
has
yeah.
there has been some stuff around him. So especially with the media and the whole England thing,
Hmm.
it's a lot of the fodder that comes from the media. I think that's what it really is. But we'll have to see what happens. I think maybe he makes a return within the next 2 months after the Christmas break. But yeah, he wasn't playing too bad from what I saw today. I mean, I didn't pay attention most of the time because I was bored out of my mind. But that's probably not the thing you want to hear from us. Yeah, yeah. And then obviously, Cavani's goal is a banger, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was going out, and I was just like, yeah, we've watched this. It's gonna go straight to
Lukaku would have
pens.
probably gone over the bar.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I mean, who's your man? Or we'll do that after player ratings. You want to
Yeah.
jump into player ratings?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you go first.
Dean Henderson clipped a clean sheet. Everton, there wasn't too many chances. That Gylfi Sigurdsson free kick was a clear one that he got his hands to. I'd say just a 7, solid performance. Um, Harry Maguire, I think 7-2. He did pretty well today. The entire back line kept a clean sheet, but I think he wasn't really seemed calm. He didn't seem too flustered like we see, and that leads to mistakes. I think it was a pretty relatively good performance from him. Would like to see more of him as a captain, not really just a center back. Would like to see him like demand more from his players and just really tell them what to do. It's because we always see it's Bruno doing that. I want to see Harry Maguire do that more if he wants to stay captain. Eric Bailly, I think 7 as well. Uh, uh, no 7. I think I'm gonna go for 6.5. Obviously kept a clean sheet, but I don't think wasn't as dominant as Harry Maguire was. Tuanzebe 5.5. I think he wasn't that great. Wasn't pushing forward as much as Alex Tellez. Obviously, got that stupid yellow card on the edge of the box,
Yeah,
which did lead to like a pretty close chance. I thought it was gonna go in, but
yeah. His
yeah.
parents took him out.
And then Alex Tellez, I think I'm gonna go for a 7-2. It was good. I think he just needs more starts and it'll turn into maybe the Portuguese Jordi Alba. He's not Jordi Alba yet.
Yeah, not yet. Dean Henderson, I'd say 6.5. Didn't really have much to do. When he had the ball, I was kind of scared that he was gonna do what he did against Sheffield. Um, uh, Twanzebe, yeah, this one's hard. I think give him a 5.5 because I think he was just like
It's not
yeah,
good.
but like Bai, I'll give a 6. I think he did better than Twanzebe, and he did, kind of clutch up on that close Dominic Calvert-Lewin run, and I think he did, somewhat go forward at times. Maguire, I'll definitely give a 7. I think he earned it. Did someone dominate? Was able to move the ball forward, but as you said, yeah, I think he needs to command the defensive line better. I think there's a lot of miscommunication, especially against like Leeds. We kind of saw they tend to like let players give them space, like to really challenge for trophies or the title or whatnot. They're gonna have to play like lockdown defense, and I think they have to improve their standards. So I think Maguire has to do better. Tellez, I'd also give him a 7. I think he was great going forward and provided some defensive stability. But I think he could have been a bit more clinical with his crosses.
Okay. Matic, 5.5. Like his presence wasn't really there in the second half. He had some moments in the first, but just nothing too crazy. Overall, didn't really control the midfield that well. Wasn't being too creative. Didn't provide too much stability to the back line. So yeah, 5.5 there. Pogba, I think 6. He had that one great ball over the top. That I can't remember who got on it, but it didn't end up scoring. But I think I'm not too sure how to stand on the whole Pogba thing. So yeah, Matic 5.5, Pogba 6.
Um, I'm gonna give Pogba. I'm gonna give him a 5.5 because I think he was good, but I think he still was too sloppy, and I think the role that he has in this team right now is, to win the ball and try to, create something quickly out of it. Long ball, the forward pass, and I think a lot of his passes, even though he made it, it was just way, way too close. Like the defender's foot was like just inches away. And then Matic, I'd say 5. I think man's getting old.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great for Chelsea. He was not bad, decent under Mourinho, but he just can't. He's not a sideline to sideline player. Like he can, if you give him the ball, he can hold up the ball, but like with like teams, trying to fight for possession, like how long can you do that? And he's not really like a turnover machine. He can't really get to the ball as quickly. He can read it. So if you can provide like a mentor role to Fred and McTominay, like Michael Carrick kind of does, I think then that's like the only real like influence I think I'd see from
When did Matic join United?
him. Not sure. I think I'd say 2015. No. That's way too early.
Yeah. He joined 2017. Yeah.
2017. Yeah. Okay.
He's made 92 appearances. Still played quite a bit for United, but yeah, just getting old.
Mhm.
Bruno Fernandes. I do tend to like suck him off a lot,
I mean,
but
who
how
doesn't?
can you? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think 7 there. That free kick would have been awesome if he made it, but oh
Tell
well.
us.
Yeah. Yeah, he made some good effort. He was obviously putting in a good shift today, getting some passes in there, but some sloppy ball. Actually, Bruno, I'm 6.5 actually. Uh,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Very uncharacteristic. Yeah, just some sloppy passes here and there. I think just couldn't. We didn't see too much creativity from him as much as we want to see as compared to like the Leeds game. Mason Greenwood, I think, 6 as well. He just wasn't providing too much of an outlet on the wings and wasn't getting too involved in the attack as much as like Rashford and Martial tend to do, and how they
Mhm.
did like in the later half. They really got in there and well, obviously got the goal. Donny Van de Beek, huh, uh, 6 as well. It's still, I think it's still just a transition period for him more than anything. He's still not really too comfortable in the first team, especially starting off because we haven't really seen him play like a whole 90 minutes yet, and he didn't even play 90 minutes a day. So yeah, I think there's more to come from him. Cavani, 6, just like he got the goal, but just way too many missed opportunities.
Yeah. For me, Bruno, I'm gonna give him a 7.5. Yeah, I know, quite optimistic. But I think like if you look at it, like the kind of key chances we had in the beginning, I think he kind of starts that kind of he's like a catalyst. He kind of um, maintains the ball in the opposition half, and I think if Cavani latched on to some of those balls, or if they could really like make chances, I think he could have gone the like scorecard basically. um
Yeah.
uh Mason, I'm gonna give him a 5.5. I think he didn't really create much. I think he he wasn't really able to he wasn't really a big presence in the opposition's half. He was more just like 1-2 passes, quick, and he didn't really have any great shots or whatever. So I think he still needs to improve. He is playing out of position, but we've seen him play well at that position last season. So I think I kind of want to see him do better. But I think over time with consistency, he'll get better. Van de Beek, I'll give him a 6 because he was, yeah, I'd say average. Like he did have some good moments, but nothing special. So I think he was average at best. Cavani, I'm gonna give him a 6 as well because if he didn't get that goal, I would have given him a 4 because he missed like
Yeah,
7 chances or whatnot. Like he had that one where the keeper just
just
actually
too
botched the
many.
touch.
Yeah.
And I was like, how have you not done like score from there? But yeah, I think in the end he was able to kind of provide the game winner. So yeah, those are our player ratings. Who is your man of the match?
That's hard, man. I just Harry Maguire.
Really? Or is that a
No.
joke? Okay.
It's gonna have to be Bruno in it. This just
Fair.
has to. I mean, I wouldn't say there was any man of the match. No one really stood out today. It was just a all around, like just average all around the table for the most part.
For me, I'd say Anthony Martial. I mean,
Fair
I
enough.
want to because he did get the goal and the assist. Um, but he only did play like 14 minutes or whatnot. Um, so I guess, yeah, I'm going to have to
Yeah, I guess that was
probably.
the best performance so far in the
Yeah,
game.
I mean, like no one else was doing anything else special.
Yeah, screw it.
Um,
Martial is also my man of the match.
yeah, but can we talk? I mean, Martial has had what, 2 goals, 5 assists in the past
It's
3 games for United. Well, 4 if you don't count a assist penalty, winning the penalty as an assist. Well, FPL does, and we live by FPL
We live
rules.
by FPL
so,
rules.
so 2 goals and 5 assists in his past 3 games. So I'd say he's picking up quite some form. What are your thoughts on his form going forward?
I mean, yeah, I think he's as I said in the last match, just more goals, more games, and he'll really get back into his stride. And I think that's what we saw today. Obviously, got that goal. It did seem uh, Everton was a bit lackadaisical at the back. They just didn't
Yeah.
couldn't seem bothered to chase after it.
I mean, Martial himself didn't even look like he wanted to
Yeah,
get the goal. He was just he was
he's just
just jogging
jogging.
like
Yeah,
it's in the park. I mean, like,
it's
I
like a
don't
70
think
pace player running at its max. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this man sprint. It's just like players are tired after like 70 minutes of playing and they'll be running at the same exact pace as Martial just come off the bench. I mean, this guy is
Because he
so
knows he can score
slow.
the goal.
Yeah, he's just waiting and then for it's like yeah, it's just like oh if he missed that, I would have just been
I would have been
furious.
furious. And then there was that
Rashi.
close yeah, God, like he needs to score more goals. I mean,
Hey,
his
at least it wasn't in the Prem. Otherwise, he would have been.
yeah. And Bruno also had that chance at the end, just got unlucky to hit the
Mhm.
post. There was like at the end there it could have man, this should have been like at least like 5-1 or 5-2-ish. I
Yeah.
I'd say I think it could have been a clean sheet for the most part, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think Everton really.
I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin had that chance, but it went straight to that header, but it went straight to Dino. And then I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if Sigurdsson had to put his further to the left, it was way too close to
Hmm.
Henderson again. But I think apart from that, they really didn't have too many standout chances. They had that chance where Coleman was pushing forward, but really nice run, but his
Yeah,
pass was too hard, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin was offside anyways.
yeah. I think credits to United for kind of keeping them, limited, not really allowing them to control their opposition. But yeah, United's next match is against Leicester, right? 4:30 a.m.
Leicester 4:30 a.m. But what about 4-2? What happened there?
I mean, at the beginning of the match, I was like, "Hey, this could very much be possible." But I mean, we still did win by 2, so I'll take it.
At the end, it was like it could be 4-2 on penalties.
Yeah, yeah. Is that possible to win 4-2 on pens?
3-1, you get so 3 like if you score okay, so say United was starting, then they did 1. Everton missed, that's 1-0.
I think
You
you
get
could if they
you
both
get
score 2.
you
Like
can
if
get
United goes first, right?
yeah. No, if it was like 3-1, then that's like that like United are like they can't physically lose at that point if they miss the third penalty. Like if United scored 3 in a row
Oh
and in the
yeah.
first 3 penalties Everton miss at least 1, then that's
Hmm.
United win. So they could score 3 and then Everton scored 2 and then United score their next one and then Dino saves the next 2 for Everton. So oh no, wait, no. This just hurts my brain too much.
I think yeah, if United and Everton both score the first 2,
Yeah.
and then United scores, it's 3-2, and then Everton miss, so it's still 3-2, and then United score 4-2, and then Everton miss.
Yeah.
So then that's how they would
No,
win
if
4-2.
yeah. That's about it. Yeah. So it could have
Yep.
happened. But I was close
Yeah.
with 2-1. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
But
I
you
said
predicted
2-1
Everton
Everton.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Forgot
So
about
we're
that.
both just completely off.
Yes.
Um,
Maybe we should make bets on it.
yeah. We have like one each on on like last season and this season combined, right? You had the Norwich game.
It was just it was just way too long ago and we were both just pretty awful at
Yeah. I mean, I was saying what 5-0
yeah,
Crystal
you were saying 5-0
Palace.
Crystal Palace. That's just embarrassing.
Yeah. Well, Liverpool beat them 7-0, so it's
Yeah,
possible.
anything can happen.
Yeah.
So it's coming up into Leicester next match. How have Leicester been doing? Let's just check on them real quick.
They're like hit or miss.
Yeah.
They lost like 3-0 to Liverpool, then they beat Spurs 2-0.
They beat their last match against Sunday. They obviously beat Spurs 2-0. Then they lost to Everton 2-0, beat Brighton 3-0, beat Athens 2-0 in the Europa League,
Europa, yeah.
beat Sheffield 2-1, still conceded against Sheffield of all teams.
Mhm.
Lost to Fulham 2-1 and then lost to Liverpool 3-0. So you can't really so let's see if there's a pattern. So they lost 3 games in a row in the league, won 3 games in a row in the league. So oh no, they didn't because there's the Everton
No.
match. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's no pattern to this.
It's been win, lose, win, lose. Let's say win, lose, win, win, lose, lose.
It's
Yeah, no, it's
it is
hopeless.
nothing.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. It's mainly based off Everton's day. Um, who would you like to see in that midfield duo? I think of all the players that we have, who would you like to see?
I think I want to see more of McTominay. That's for sure. I mean, I'm not too hyped about him. When I first saw him, didn't really rate him too much. Just sloppy. It was kind of slow. I think I think if he gets fired up, then I think he could be he's good for United. Fred, McTominay, Fred, they performed so well in the last league match. I do want to see them again, and obviously Bruno up front, but in the center. So yeah, I think that's what I kind of want to go for as far as the midfield.
Yeah, I think same here. I think Fred and McTominay, they were obviously great last season. So I think if they could replicate that, provide more stability. Um, it is still kind of questionable, like for Ole, how does he choose from these players who to bench, who to start? And at what point do you have to say, okay, wait, we need to give Bruno a rest because he can't be playing every week in, week out. We kind of saw that, I think, last season, right? Like in the Chelsea match, he kind of just got burned out and just couldn't do anything. Um,
I didn't realize he got 84 points in FPL.
oh yeah, I mean,
I'm in
come on,
fourth.
the guy's a legend.
God damn it. Okay.
Well,
This is
I'm beating you by like 4 points now,
4 points. Yeah, it's too
but
close.
I
But
did catch up.
yeah, I think for the game, I'm gonna say 1-1.
Wow, 1-1.
1-1.
Okay, okay.
Oh, also,
I'm gonna
do you think Dan James is gonna be starting instead of Mason?
let's see. No, I think Mason starts because the thing is, I like why Ole played Dan James against Leeds because Leeds they give so much space that it would allow Dan James to actually operate. But Leicester are very tight at the back. I feel like they won't really allow like their left back and right back. They don't really attack forward. They more like mark the wingers as well. So I think Mason would probably do a better role than Dan James, even though Dan James he got the goal. Um, in the last league game, but I think I think I'd rather see Mason Greenwood play.
Yeah. Okay. So what about your prediction?
I think it's like either I feel I'm gonna go with a 2-0 win for United.
Ooh.
I think Leicester did get lucky against Spurs. I mean, Serge Aurier just slammed Fofana for no reason in the box after he was doing so well. But then again, Harry Maguire could show up as Harry Maguire's Jekyll and Hyde. Like he'll have a good day, and then this absolutely be abysmal.
He's like bipolar.
Yeah, yeah. But I just I think with this run, I think United starting off stronger. Um, I think it's a 2-0 win. But I could be very wrong and Leicester thrashes 3-0 or something.
We could both be very wrong, but
Yeah.
yeah. Now I think it's clear to say that Arsenal are now a relegation team, as per this season. Not a relegation team, like in the manner of like West Brom, who's getting like relegated and promoted and then relegated. I think they're
Yeah,
as
yeah.
for now they're relegated. It's safe to say their last 10 games have been one win, and that was against United. Their goal of the week in November was Oba's penalty against
Against
United.
United.
It might be Oba's own goal this week for the goal of the month. But yeah, they've been abysmal. 4-2-8. They lost obviously 4-1 to City.
City.
So what does this leave Arsenal?
I don't know. I mean, as much as a United fan I am, and as much as I love bantering Arsenal, because why not? I kind of do want to see them perform again, partly because I've Alba on my fantasy team now. But I mean, it's just kind of no fun. Like last season, was it last season? Yeah, last season it was just so boring to just watch Liverpool just run away with it, and like City was like mediocrely second, and then everyone was just
Just so far
trash
away.
third. Yeah, United and Chelsea both 33 points off Liverpool.
Somehow still third and fourth.
Yeah. So I think I kind of want to see Arsenal do well again, and I think they can. They just need to find some spark, some rhythm. They've, I think, they kind of deserve what they and like their position for not registering Ozil for the Premier League, which I don't know how you do that. But
I think
yeah,
Thomas Partey left Atletico for ours for this.
yeah. I mean, like I think his debut was against United, right? And it seemed all happy days. And
No. His debut was against it was like it was in some cup and they lost, but he still had performed really well.
oh, okay.
I can't remember against who. It was a while back, but yeah, I'd kill to see Arsenal just go down. It would be so funny. Like Arsenal fan TV are they're just a bunch of pricks. It's so funny them watching them like every week just get pissed off.
Yeah, it's
It,
time to go.
it's time to go. If it's time to go, it's time to go. They've never
Uh,
been relegated, right? That's like the one like
I
pride they
think
have.
no. Wait, is it them or is it Liverpool? It's one of the two. I think who's never been relegated. They've never lost because obviously
Arsenal have not
Invincibles.
been relegated since they last entered the top flight in 1919. So
So
they
it was
haven't.
Arsenal. Oh, okay. Yeah, and he was one of those either Liverpool or
Oh, and the
Arsenal.
last time they got relegated was 1912, 1913. I don't think it was the Premier League
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't remember. No, Premier League was 92.
All right, good point. Good point.
That was 80 years before.
All right,
Um,
just a little off.
yeah. I mean, it's going so bad that Chris MD has been wearing Leeds jerseys now. Did you
Has
see?
he?
Yeah.
Oh boy. They're not doing too
Uh,
much better. Like they're only
I
one point
mean,
ahead. They're only one place ahead.
I mean, it is Arsenal though. I mean, I mean, was anyone expecting Leeds to be top six? I mean, people are expecting Arsenal to be top six. I feel,
And
but
then again, we were expecting Spurs to be 11th. So
that's true. Okay, but yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. We'll wait till the end of the season when they bottle it. Then it'll seem more
it'll seem
in
close. So we don't,
place.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did drop from like first to fifth in a matter of like 4 days.
Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. But who are Spurs? Oh, Bale did finally get on this question. Oh, so I have. Damn it. Let me see if I can find the tweet. I kind of want to talk about this. Give me like. Uh, buddy, this is gonna take me.
Wait, I'll get some Bale memorabilia as well. My drawing of Bale back in the fifth grade. Back when he was at Spurs.
Fifth, what was that? Fifth,
2013.
2013.
That's
Yeah,
when
he
he
just.
moved to Real
Yeah.
Madrid.
Come on. Let's see.
The whole intro was Ronaldo. It was Real Madrid beating AC Milan 7-3 with Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema, and Morata as well scoring.
Morata,
Alvaro
that's
Morata.
black.
Very accurate.
Come on. Okay, it's not this account. Wait. So you just was it just a drawing?
No, we had to write a book every year. So this was the mystery of the stolen golden boot.
So what the
So
hell does Gareth Bale have to do with that?
because he won the golden boot and then his got
Oh,
stolen.
mystery the golden boot. Okay,
Yeah, so it got stolen. Yeah.
that's kind of awkward. Okay, I can't find the post anywhere, but it pretty much said people were like calling Zizou like an idiot for leaving Bale out. Now we see how washed up he is. Do you think that's right in those regards?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think Bale. Like I was a huge fan of Bale back in the day. Even though as a United fan, when United were down, I just watched Real Madrid play and watch Bale play. And the thing is, no one else knew who he was. Like if you were like a mediocre soccer fan or below, you wouldn't know who he was. But I think like I think he's still like class. I mean, we've seen how he performed for Wales, and he can really change a team. I feel like his pace on the wing, and United have been linked to him for the past like 8 years or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like I hate Real Madrid just like when they waste players' talents. Like for example, Isco just on the bench,
Oh
and then
yeah. Kaká, James Rodriguez,
yeah, Hamas. Oh
Ozil.
yeah, Ozil, and obviously Bale. I feel like I'm forgetting a couple as well, but
You can name like a plethora of midfielders and
yeah.
forwards. Who's that one British dude
I
that
mean,
just randomly signed? That was a while back. It was a bit of a meme. Like what?
oh, um, I forgot his name.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, if you look at Zidane stats for Real Madrid, and you look at Bale stats. Bale's got more. He's won more. He's scored more. He's assisted more. And considering
Hmm.
Zidane played as part of the Galacticos, I think Zidane was completely in the wrong, and I think Real Madrid fans were in the wrong as well. Like there's people like calling for his head, essentially saying he doesn't care, he doesn't give a whatever about the club. But like that's expected when you don't get any minutes, when you're such a class player, and when you do get minutes, you score one of the greatest Champions League goals, but it still doesn't even win Ballon d'Or. Like how the hell did Salah win Ballon d'Or that year? But it's like it's so demoralizing. I think Bale was right, and like I think Zidane was completely in the wrong, but Bale was in the right for being a bit of a baby. I think he completely deserved it. It wasn't a baby. I think it's completely justified what he did.
Yeah, I mean, like from Bale's point of view, like he like did so much for the team, right? He won them Copa del Rey, he won them Champions Leagues, and what?
The Copa del Rey is a sour one still.
Oh, right, because he kind of had
Yeah.
that
Whatever.
goal. We'll get that over. But like, I mean, he's obviously been clinical to the Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo kind of strike force, and I think just to see him kind of just like get booted off like that, like even Ronaldo, bro. Who needs Ronaldo
Who
to
needs
get
Ronaldo?
at this?
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising to see. Just like, I mean, they almost got kicked out of the Champions League, and then on the last day they
Oh,
somehow
they're
topped
so
the group.
lucky. Yeah, it's just pissing me
Yeah,
off. Anyways,
yeah.
yeah, so that's our coverage of the Everton match in the EFL Cup. 2-0 win for United. The next match is 4:30 a.m. Pacific time against Leicester. I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Shubha's gone for a 2-0 United win. So we'll see you then.